And welcome back to the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, episode 2 on the Spicy Sports. Well, it used to be the Spicy Sports podcast. But again, the Good, Bad, the Ugly, episode 2. It's with Sam Cerrone, Tom Crane, once again, coming back. The good old tandem. Good old Todd Gurley and CJ Anderson duo as we do it. Moving on to baseball, Tom. The two biggest free agents that we have currently are Manny Machado and, of course, Bryce Harper. Both are commanding huge salaries in the events of $300 million or more, with Bryce Harper even seeking close to $500 million, if not more. The Philadelphia Eagles have been the biggest contender to get these players. They've already brought in a good core number of players: Andrew McCutchen, John Segura, David Robertson, and they do have that flexibility to spend the money to get, if not one, but two of these talents, which is very impressive, considering the Phillies have been just sitting on young talent for a long time, need a good core to get them over the top in that division. So there are a lot of contenders there. Tom, what do you think the chances are for Philadelphia to land both Manny Machado and Bryce Harper this season?
Right now, it's highly unlikely that they will land both of them, just because of how high the cap is and what they want to do for their future. The Phillies, yes, they are good once they get their offensive person, whether it be Machado or Harper, but you also got to look at your pitching. Pitching is major when it comes to offensive battles, because without a good pitcher, you're going to get hit a lot, and a lot of runs are going to be coming in, and you're basically going to have to try and get back in the game with your own offensive power. The Phillies this offseason have already added Andrew McCutchen, Gene Segura, David Robertson to the fold, and they need a strong design on signing Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. The Phillies have a great deal of flexibility in their budget, and it's a room to be stupid, even in which they speculate that they would both sign Harper and Machado. While that seems unlikely, it does seem the Phillies will get one or the other, which I agree with. The Phillies recently had a successful face-to-face meeting with Harper, and they're widely considered to be the front-runners. So, if you like the hair, Phillies, you're probably going to get Harper. Machado, on the other hand, is a strong front-runner for the White Sox, which I'm not happy about. I'm a Cubs fan. You know how I am. If I see Machado coming, the big bomber is going to be going in Wrigley Field.
Yeah. No, Tom, well, go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
Just when it comes to the top choices, some people do think that both of them together would make a palatable offensive team. But just remember, there's 7 other people that are on that field also, and you got to think, okay, is 2 people going to be able to carry the team? No, it's not. So just remember that when you're thinking, hey, 2 big free agents are on the field, let's get them both.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I had this conversation with Sean on Saturday, and the Yankees are also in contention for these 2 players. A lot of speculation just because the Yankees are the team that spends the money and goes after big-name players to fill out their roster. And Sean mentioned that as a Yankees fan, myself as well, mentioned that these 2 players together are not worth the salaries they command. They're not worth what they should be, and that's okay. You know, it's okay not to have to sign these players, and that's a good thing for the Yankees. The Yankees have developed a good enough roster where they can compete. Obviously, the Red Sox are a great team, so it's going to take some time for both, for both of them to get up to speed. I just don't think in time they will have that chemistry that will put us over the top. I think we're going to need pitching. I think that for the Yankees, pitching is a bigger priority than hitting. I think we're okay there with that department. It's just, pitching in the postseason is, I think, much more valuable. And obviously, none of those being pitchers, neither of those players being pitchers, I don't think it's effective. Obviously, you mentioned, Tom, the White Sox. That's also a huge component there. I do believe that they are going to be in contention. But best case scenario, Tom, outside of your Cubbies, obviously home bias there, where would be the best destination for either of these 2 players if they were to either play together or just separately?
To be honest, I think what the critics are basically saying is probably the best fit. If Machado goes to the White Sox, I think that'll help their team. Harper to the Phillies, definitely, especially since the Phillies are looking at 2 of the best free agent pitchers, Dallas Keuchel and reliever Greg Kimball. Kimbrel. And then, as I said, you're looking towards the future. If you spend big money on Machado and Harper at the same time on the Phillies, you're going to mislook one of the best AL players in the next 2 years, which is Mike Trout. Mike Trout is going to be available, and it's not likely that he'll sign with the Angels. So if you snag Trout, you have Harper, you got Kimbrel, and you got Keuchel. I know I'm saying his last name wrong, but if you have those four right there, I could definitely see another big four, just like the Phillies had back in 2009 when they won the World Series.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I don't hear any other teams outside of Philadelphia and outside the White Sox that are going to be willing to spend the money just because they've already have money on big name rosters. So it's kind of funny now how much they're commanding and realizing, we could have signed where we did for the money that we were offered. I think the Washington Nationals offered upwards of $400 million, and Bryce Harper said no. Said I can get more on the market, and they're clearly seeing, along with his super agent Scott Boras, that is not what they're going to get. And also, it's $400 million. Let's be honest, it's a stupid amount of money to play in a player. It's to have a guy that hasn't hit 300 consistently in his career, hasn't hit 50 home runs consistently in his career, has only hit maybe over 100 RBIs a couple times in his career. So but the potential is there. But I wouldn't spend $400 million on a player. We already saw the Robinson Cano contract in Seattle, how bad that was. I don't think that was a smart deal for the Mariners. It was only there to bring in some seats, but now that they've they have a better team. They got rid of Cano, and that's okay. They're going to look better moving forward. So a lot of these big contracts that you're signing for one player, understand that you need other players around you, and one superstar doesn't carry the team, as you know. Tom, any final thoughts on this topic? Any good, bad, ugly scenarios here?
I don't want to call this ugly. But if you all know, Curtis Granderson and Bartolo Colon are both into their 15 seasons in the majors and turns 38 years. Oh, sorry, this is Curtis Anderson. He spent 15 seasons in the majors and turns 38 in March. Is he done? Probably not. He does not plan to retire. He plans to keep on playing. When it comes to Bartolo Colon, he wants to pitch in the majors in 2019. He turns 46 in May, and he still wants to play, which is a little bit unheard of. Bartolo Colon took a perfect game in the 8th inning and struck out 7 batters against the 2017 World Series champions Houston Astros in the 2018 season. He finished the season with a 7-12 record with a 5.78 ERA. So his best years are behind him. But I still think if he can play one more season, I think it'll be monstrous for him. But if you remember the size of his gut, I think that's too big for his eyes also. I think he's wishing for too much. So I'm hoping he gets one more season. If so, he's an all-star. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame no matter what. But I wish him luck.
Yeah, I mean, look, Big Sexy, I mean, that guy is hilarious. He hit his first home run a couple seasons ago, which was the most hilarious thing to watch. Watch him trot around all that home base. All the bases, which is hilarious. And again, a 5-point ERA isn't that bad. Isn't terrible for 45 years old. 46, I mean, let's say it stays the same. That's actually somewhat below average in a starting pitcher. Yeah, but he's 46. So, I don't know what the market is for pitching for that. So there is not a lot of market. The market value, clearly, it's not the best for pitchers probably at this point. Speaking of baseball, Tom, one last question before we end this segment. Kyler Murray has decided to enter the NFL draft and is projected to be a first-round pick. He's 5'9", obviously the Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma. Played well in the semifinal game against Alabama, played pretty well, can move the ball. And he negotiated with the Oakland A's. Yeah, Oakland A's have their rights, his baseball rights. He was drafted as a first-round pick. I think $4 million signing bonus, $4.5 million signing bonus. And he renegotiated, saying, "Look, I want $15 million, or I'm going to go to the NFL draft." Obviously, the Oakland A's didn't go with that. They're not a team that likes to spend a lot of money, and went ahead and signed up is going to declare for the NFL draft. Tom, where should Kyler Murray go? Should he stay with baseball, play it safe, get the guaranteed contract, and play out his career, in the minor leagues till he gets up to the majors in a couple years? Or should he at least see if he can get a first-round grade and get drafted in the NFL and see if that works for him and play quarterback?
So when I look at this situation, I see it as a power play. Kyler Murray, he's both good at baseball and football, but he's not like a Bo. He can't play both at the same time. My guess is that he will go into the NFL. He will play for a little bit to see how his body actually holds up in the NFL. Remember that he's short. He's like a Russell Wilson. He's either going to be good or he's going to be bad. And if he's bad, he can transition into baseball because there's the longevity right there is, as you can see, Bartolo Colon, 46 and still pitching. Kyler Murray, if he doesn't take too much of a beating in football and gets that guaranteed money and plays for a little bit, plays baseball for the rest of his career, and he's set for life. If he goes directly into baseball, I don't see him transitioning back over to football to see how it goes because, as everyone knows, football does a number to your body. Every game is basically like getting hit by a train repeatedly. Baseball, it could just be a hammy strain. Not too many major injuries happen, except in your arm and possibly in your Achilles or your legs. So my guess is this is just a power play, and I think Kyler Murray might test his foot in football, but then he'll go right to baseball.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tom, it's funny because a lot of social media was like, look, get your money. Like, it is not, when you're that good in two sports and you're projected to be a first-round grade in both, potentially, already drafted by the Oakland A's in the first round, but still projected to be a first-round pick by a lot of experts. It's fascinating. I don't blame him for trying to get the money. Like I don't blame him for trying, as the kids say, secure the bag and get that $15 million because that's a lot of money. $4 million is great, but $15 million that sounds a whole lot better. And if he goes in the NFL draft, he'll be guaranteed. And if he's a first round pick, he'll be guaranteed 30. And after taxes, that's like about 15, 16, roughly, give or take. So that's still good money. So. If he doesn't do well in football, that's okay because he still has baseball. So he can go play there at 30, see if he can grind it out for a couple of years there. If he doesn't do well in football, and see what happens. I don't blame him for trying both and see what happens. But it's hilarious that there's no negativity. Look, people are understanding. Look, if you're that good, why not do it? We'll take a short break, Tom. And, of course, the people listening on the podcast, Good, Bad, the Ugly, Episode 2 on Spreaker Radio. Up next, the MLS has breaking news. They have announced a 27th team that will be coming to Major League Soccer in 2021. We'll tell you who that team is and what the thoughts are on that. This is the Good, Bad, the Ugly, Episode 2 on Spreaker Radio. All right, and we're off. Okay. And welcome back to the Good, Bad, the Ugly, Episode 2 on Spreaker Radio. Sam Stern and Tom Crane here from you live from Portland, Oregon, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It is January 15, 2019. It's a great day because I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I'm so excited. It's so great that I'm going on vacation. I looked at where my aunt's place is in Pompano Beach. It is awesome. The liquor store is a 4-minute walk. The beach is a 10-minute walk in the other direction. I do have a gym, 8-minute drive or a 15-minute bus up there. I am set until I have to go down to Miami and go down for the cruise, which is that following Saturday, going Saturday for the hotel and doing all that stuff. Sunday, get to go on the boat, get to do the little ceremony, get to do the quick wedding, and after that, it is party from Sunday all the way to Saturday, and that's going to be so much fun.